What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Do You Know? My name is John Dewberry, and always remember, the more you know your history, the more liberated you are. On today's episode, we have Miss Marsha P. Johnson. Miss Marsha P. Johnson was a drag queen and social activist. She was born Malcolm Michaels Jr. on August 24th, 1945. And by the age of 5, she had a strong desire for feminine clothing, so she started to dress like a girl. And of course, that wasn't accepted during this time, and her parents started to reprimand her. And yeah, so fast forward. After graduating high school, she moved to Greenwich Village in New York City, and she only had $15 and a bag of clothes. So she ended up being homeless, and she had to resort to prostitution and basically just hustling and bustling through the streets of New York, man, trying to make a living, trying to survive out there. Fast forward again, she went through several name changes, and she eventually settled on Marsha P. Johnson, which the P stands for Pay It No Mind, which she used to use as a response when people used to question her about her gender. She would say, "Pay it no mind." So anyway, the LGBT community was they were heavily discriminated against during this time, and so they all congregated to gay clubs and gay bars because they could feel safe and they could express themselves freely in these spaces. There was particularly this one club called Stonewall Inn, which they were special because they also welcomed drag queens. But the police started raiding in on these gay bars and clubs, and basically, man, the LGBT community they just started getting fed up. And on a particular morning of June 28, 1969, the NYPD raided the Stonewall Inn, and that was after already raiding it days before. They were raiding a lot recently, and basically, man, they started manhandling and arresting all the gay people inside the club, harassing them, and the people around the community started observing it, and a large crowd started gathering. They were witnessing the harassment that was going on. Eventually, a riot erupted, and Miss Marsha and Miss Sylvia Rivera, which is her friend, and other notable LGBT community leaders, they were all involved in this. And those uprisings against the police and things, they basically continue over the next 5 days. And Miss Marsha and Miss Sylvia, they were basically catalysts in the gay movement in the 1960s. There was a gay movement before this night. Protests and things like that existed for gay people, but this night provided the spark that the gay movement needed, and it basically spawned the first gay pride marches in 1970. And in that same year, Miss Marsha and her friend Sylvia, they founded Street Transvestite Action Revolutionaries, also known as STAR, in which that was basically the country's first safe spaces for just transgender youth and homeless youth. Miss Marsha ended up traveling around the world with a very popular drag theater company called Hot Peaches, and she ended up being featured by Andy Warhol in 1975 in a print screen portfolio of drag queens and transgenders. Unfortunately, her life was taken away early at the age of 46. Her body was found drowned in the Hudson River. It was initially ruled as suicide, and I believe they later changed it. They reopened the case in 2012 and changed it to just an accident, I believe. But regardless, the case is still open today. They still don't really know, but we all kind of know. Yeah, so rest in peace to Miss Marsha P. Johnson. I wanted to just use this time to just celebrate her life, and she was an extraordinary person, extraordinary leader, and she stood for something great, which was gay and transgender rights. And I just think in today's time, that's still not happening. Particularly Black transgender women. They're just, even within the Black community, and I know people don't like to hear that, and I know we facing white supremacy, I know we are, but we never gonna do that successfully without embracing Black transgender women. And you can't say protect Black women without including Black transgender women. And the fact of the matter is, they're getting killed and murdered and end up missing by police, but they're also getting abused and all kinds of things by Black men. and that has to stop. And we're never going to get anywhere if that continues to happen. So I wanted to highlight her life, but I also wanted to use this in this particular time, this particular week, where it's just really, really heavy on Black women, and just kind of uplift them and just encourage you guys. You have leaders who have done it, and I believe you are our leaders today, and we as Black men are to protect you, but we are not there yet. So that's all my thoughts on it. I hope you guys learned something new. Miss Marsha P. Johnson, we celebrate you. Rest in peace, and I will see you guys next time.